package in the mail, MSX games from Japan. Collecting without fail those shoot 'em ups, and that's the plan. He doesn't just collect them, he also codes them too. Join us and we'll go on electric adventures with you.
Hey YouTubers, Electric Adventures here with my monthly update for May 2018. I'll do other pickups first, only a couple. A local friend called Brendan does the rounds of various places, and he found 2 copies of a PlayStation 2 game, so he gave the other one to me, and he knows I like Pitfall. Now I've never played this particular one, but it's Pitfall: The Lost Expedition, and apparently it's a 3D Pitfall game. I haven't heard a lot about this one, so I don't really know what it's like. It's actually all there and in pretty good shape. Haven't had a PS2 game for a little while, so at some stage I'll give that a try. EB Games were having a half price sale on their pre-owned games, and I got 2 titles. First one was Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls. Now I actually do have Diablo 3 on the PC, but I haven't played it for ages, and I generally find that I enjoy playing titles on a console more. If I sit down in front of a PC I feel like I need to program, so I thought it was only cheap and I thought I'd do it, and I'm playing through from the start. Funnily enough, I chose the same character, which is the Witch Doctor, but maybe I'll play it through and then maybe I might play it with another character, and I've actually been quite enjoying that one. It's a good version, works well with the PlayStation 4 controller. Another one I grabbed, now I have played and finished the first game in the series. I started playing the second game, but I think I made a mistake and got stuck and then didn't get back to it. I owned a copy of the third game, so all of these 3 games I owned for the PlayStation 3. Now my PlayStation 3 broke down. I do have another one, but I haven't really touched it much at all since I got my PlayStation 4. And this is, once again, it's a pre-owned one. It's in really good condition for a pre-owned, and it's Bioshock the Collection. So it's got all 3 Bioshock games, including Infinite, which I haven't played. So even if I only just play that one, it was worth it for the price I got it. So you've got the slip cover. As you can see, it's pre-owned. What do we have in here? So it's just Bioshock the Collection. It's in two discs. It's got the same thing on the back of each. Of disc 1 Bioshock and Bioshock 2, and disc 2 is Bioshock Infinite. And it's all in really good condition. So I'll probably play Diablo 3 for a little while. I haven't actually started Horizon Zero Dawn, which I showed you last month. And I'll probably play that, then I'll probably play Bioshock Infinite, I reckon. So, and really, they are all the pickups of the month. We had some really wild weather, and I've been extremely busy at work, working on a big project right near the end of it, which is pretty much all done and dusted now. A couple of little tidy ups this week and then I'll be finished that, and I might get back to a normal person's life. So I had 0 time during the month to work on any homebrew or anything like that. But we had a big storm, a bit of damage around our neck of the woods, and there were actually floods in the centre of our city. And our house seemed fine. We had a tree blow over and everything like that. I was so busy with work I didn't actually come into the game room for an entire week until after the storm. And then when I did, I came in and just below me there was water sitting on the floor. Now I didn't lose any games or any consoles, none of those were damaged, but it did damage some of the shelving, and I had some books that were sitting on the floor just over there, so I lost a couple of old books, and I've had to replace the cubes that my game consoles were in. So I might show you a picture of that all set up, because I've got some stuff in the way at the moment, so we're holding up the camera and everything like that. We'll see how we go. I'll put that up later in the video. So anyway, I had to pull all my console playing area, which is sitting in front of me, completely apart, rewire it. Water was in the power boards, so to be sure, and also, you know, I prize the consoles more than I do a couple of power boards. I bought brand new power boards just to make sure, and it's probably good to replace them every couple of years anyway. Especially the master board that I use, that when you turn the TV off, it turns off everything that's connected to it, both to save power and to protect them from storms and things like that. I got a new one of those. Because obviously, you know, my running consoles are very precious to me. So, you know, I don't really have a lot to fill in, but I thought I'd start a new thing this month. And it's about the movies that I watched during the month, because it is a related topic, and most of us are into movies. And most of the movies I watch are, you know, science fiction, fantasy, superhero type movies as well. So last month, in April, right at the end, I got to see Avengers Infinity War Part 1, and that was a really good movie. I really enjoyed that one. This month at the Pictures, I got to see Han Solo: A Star Wars Story. I hadn't actually planned to go see it anytime near launch day, because, look, I went and saw Last Jedi. I sort of enjoyed it at the Pictures, but, you know, I wasn't sure. I didn't race back and go back and watch it a second time. And I didn't even buy it on Blu-ray or anything like that when it came out either. I actually watched it. My son-in-law my future son-in-law bought a copy of it, and we watched it on his, and that was the first time my wife watched it as well. And, you know, it's got some okay bits in it, but, you know, didn't really enjoy it. And I suppose we're on the rated. I have bought the 4K, and this is only my second 4K disc of The Last Jedi, and the only reason I bought this in 4K was it was a buy one and get one free sale, so you got the cheaper title, and this was already on special. So, like, I think this was supposed to be $50, but I got it for, I think it was $32 as the more expensive of the two titles, along with Justice League, which I also didn't see at the Pictures. And this one, it was an enjoyable movie to watch. It definitely has its faults. It's definitely better than Batman vs Superman. Not as good as Wonder Woman. Really, with the heroes in it, it should have been better, and that's basically what a lot of people are saying. But it was still enjoyable to watch. So it was a good evening's entertainment. Will I put it into the player anytime soon? Probably not. Probably not for a while. And I have watched The Last Jedi on 4K Blu-ray. And the only other 4K Blu-ray I have in comparison is Blade Runner 2049. And I almost say I shouldn't have bothered, because it just doesn't look like a 4K movie, which is very disappointing for a Star Wars movie. Whereas you put Blade Runner 2049 in, and it looks beautiful when you play it in 4K. So, and so the other movie I saw was Han Solo: A Star Wars Story. I went and saw that with very low expectations. My wife actually was the one that suggested we go and see it. We went along. We could only go up to a late night showing, so it started like 9:30 at night on a Sunday, which is probably the worst night. When we got there, we were getting a bit worried, because we were basically the first ones in the theatre, and there was another couple of people there at the same time, and for a little while that was another thing. Oh God, is the movie terrible and nobody's gone to see it? By the time the movie started, there was probably about 30 people in the theatre, but it's a theatre that could probably take 200 people, so it still looked like nobody. We saw it on a nice big screen, and everybody came out with a grin and enjoyed it. I don't think saw anybody there who didn't enjoy it. That one I would happily go see. It is much more Star Warsy than the other movies. that have come out, and so out of all of the new movies that have come out of Star Wars, my favourite is still Rogue One, followed by Han Solo, A Star Wars Story, then it would be The Force Awakens, and then The Last Jedi. I'm not going to rank them as far as the original movies are concerned. I'll just rank them amongst themselves for the time being. Last Jedi, I suppose, yeah, there really are there's some good bits in it, but there's also some bits that just don't make sense and spoil the good bits. So anyway, hopefully J.J. Abrams can tidy up the third movie. So there we go. It's just a quick spool on me on what I watched movie-wise, either Blu-rays or actually got to go to the pictures. No, I'm not going to get to go to the actual physical pictures every month. And obviously there's Deadpool 2. Wouldn't mind seeing that one. As a family, we're definitely going to go and see probably the new Jurassic World movie, and also Incredibles 2. Lots of good movies coming up, and there's more coming up later in the year. They're just the ones I can think of that will be in the near future. As a family, now that several of us have flown the coop, I suppose, and the older ones pay for themselves, it's a little bit more affordable to go to the pictures. So you never know, might get to go more. So, sorry, not very retro game orientated this episode, but there was some gaming items. So what I might do, I might grab the camera and we'll just do a flip round of the... I mean, all it is a tidied up room a bit, and it still is in flux, because obviously I still have Gary's arcade cabinet here, and I have cocktail cabinets that are some mine, some not, that are being done up, and when they're out of the way I'll do a proper room tour. So hang on a sec, I'll grab the camera. Right, so here's the so that's my retro computers, which I've been doing on Instagram and on Facebook page, been slowly going through and showing pictures of them. So the storm damage was over here on the floor. As you can see, all these 3 cocktail cabinets are taking up a bit of room, and these white cubes are the new replacements. I've still got the old original cubes, the top ones on the bottom there, and I'm going to, these were just really cheap cubes that I got from the hardware store. I'm actually probably going to bite the bullet and build something custom, because I could probably, because these cubes, it ended up being a bit higher, and each of the cubes themselves is probably a bit high, so I probably need to make something a little bit more custom, and then I could probably have a shelf over the top of the monitor to put a couple of things as well, because now all this stuff up here is getting a bit high, and I know we don't have earthquakes here, but it could get dangerous. I took some of my books out, so they're the books there. There's some of my more prized books, and I've moved my Super Famicom and Super Nintendo games over here. I think they look quite nice there, and there's enough room there. I mean, I'm not intending on getting too many more Super Famicom titles. You know, maybe the odd one here, or maybe I might upgrade some of these loose ones to box ones at some stage, but I'm in no particular hurry to do those. And so conversely, and we'll do a slow spin round, so my upright cabinet's working well. The custom build one there's got Neo Geo board in it. That's my Space Firebird original cabinet. I now have a Space Firebird board, but I've got lots more restoration to do. That's Gary's NBA Jam. That is now working bar sound. And it unfortunately hides the shelf behind there, which has my PSP and Sega Saturn and my Japanese Nintendo 64 and a whole lot of stuff. That's the messy corner. So I really do want to get in there and clean all that up. Coming back over here, this is my Mega Drive Master System, and then one of my pride and joys is my Coleco collection. That's one of the reasons I've also moved the Super Famicom games. Especially since the rest of the these colour games by well, not colour games, these games that were created by Team Pixel Boy to assist raising money for one of the Coleco community. I've got a whole heap of here that don't have the boxes. The boxes are on the way, so that's going to take up a bit of shelf space, and there are some new Coleco homebrews, and you know I like my Coleco homebrews. And plus, of course, I haven't finished collecting the main Coleco set, but it's looking very nice. And my MSX collection obviously is ticking along and building slowly. All of those tape games that I got, if you saw a video late in May, are all sitting there, probably not really put in properly. And then you go over to my workbench there, where I still have Galaxian sitting there ready to be repaired, but I honestly have hardly been in here all month. I do have this nice Dell LCD monitor that flips, so really good for testing arcade boards. I've got a real CRT to make, because sometimes the colours can look off on the LCD and they look fine on a CRT. There's a video converter board. As you can see, I've got stuff everywhere, so I'm not being very neat at the moment. Alright, so while we centre on this side of the games room, which is probably one of the biggest parts of my collection, and of course has my MSX games. Oh, by the way, Atari stuff's up there. We better call it quits for this month. So, alright, I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.